All right, hey guys, welcome to Beggins Brothers podcast today. You got Jeff Beggins and
Craig Beggins,
Mike Puma,
and we also have Captain Dan with us today. And we are hanging out on Florida Tiki Tours, the coolest thing right here at Johns Pass, which is, you don't get any cooler than hanging out on a floating tiki hut, right? There's nothing cooler than that. And awesome people, great equipment. We're gonna up, Jonathan.
Oh.
So we're just coming to you live today from the Tiki Hut. So enjoy it, watch it, hit that subscribe button, keep watching our content, guys. All right, guys, welcome to a brand new quarter here, and we're changing things up a little bit for this quarter's podcast. And this one is called the Beggins Brothers Podcast, right? We once keeping it real in real estate. Now we're doing the Beggins Brothers. And to start that off, you're sitting with a Beggins brother and then kind of an adopted one sitting there on the other end.
Beggins, and Puma.
always the redheaded stepchild.
No pun intended.
So what I want to start out is, first of all, we just decided this is a hell of a beautiful day and a great area. It's a little bit cool this morning, but still perfect. And we are sitting on one of the coolest things around in our marketplace, and it's Florida Tiki Tours, and it's a floating tiki hut, and it is just awesome. And Captain Dan's here with us, and we are just cruising around Madeira Beach, Florida, checking out Johns Pass and enjoying it. If you guys have not been on this, you need to check it out. It's just pretty cool. That's the best way to describe it.
There's a sign right there that says drinking is mandatory and clothing is optional.
So we had to do what we had to do. So do what you do. So don't ask us what time it is. It doesn't really matter.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. So a little background here, just for those who are, because our audience is growing a lot, and it's great. We got people all over the world now watching, which is sweet.
That's cool.
And for those of you who really don't know background, I thought it'd be kind of fun to give a little background about what we know about each other, being brothers. And then from Mike Puma's perspective, being around us for a few years now, how things are coming out. So I'll just start by just giving a little intro. This guy here, Craig Beggins, my brother, and my good-looking older brother, is I'm the clean-cut one. He's the rebel of the group with the ponytail. We have a really cool history there. So the background is, it's better coming from somebody else, I think. So the background with Craig is he's a hell of a real estate agent, hell of a person, great coach, and amazing broker, right? I mean, he's truly the broker record of our company, Century 21 Beggins, and now 28 years.
28 years.
In business, 11 years top workplace in Tampa Bay, several hundred agents. We're doing tens of billions of dollars in sales, almost 60,000 transactions closed now, all right here in Tampa Bay. So, and you've been at the helm of that ship the entire time.
Yep.
Starting from 3 agents to what we are right now.
Earned every one of these gray hairs.
That's right. And it's amazing to see the steadfastness and consistency of you being able to go through the awesome markets, the crappy markets, the shitty markets, literally thousands and thousands of agents, right?
Yep.
In and out the door as the world moves in the real estate industry, and seeing a lot, right? So what I really am looking forward to doing on this next quarter is kind of bringing in some of the cool, funny stories, interesting stories, life lessons, interesting facts, and problems and challenges and issues.
We've observed a few mistakes along the way.
Yep, and we get surprised, literally. You would think you've seen pretty much everything with 60,000 sales.
Nope.
But no, it happens a lot. So you've got, with this guy, one of the smartest, most knowledgeable brains in the real estate industry.
Thank you.
And that deal hasn't come across your desk you haven't touched. So the value that you bring to all of us and this whole organization is huge. So that's what I'm looking forward to, interjecting more of what you're doing in this marketplace.
Awesome. Happy to do that, and hope we can pass some good knowledge along to you guys. A little bit about my brother here. I didn't really know him for the first 12 years of my life.
Let's get over a little bit this way.
Because I am, am I 6 years older?
6 years older.
6 years older. So what amazes me about Jeff, and what you're going to learn from Jeff, is he is unquestionably the best salesperson I've ever met. The level of education and discipline I've seen. Well, first of all, when we started, Jeff joined the real estate company. How old were you?
Right out of college, 23.
23 years old.
Yeah.
We were disciplined by Mike Ferry, and it was phone call, and script. And Jeff mastered the script so well, and learn NLP, which he teaches us every quarter. He actually did so much. He had a telephone dialing system that had we had specially made with 2 headsets and 2 handsets. And he would dial both phones at the same time, and whoever answered, he'd talk to the other one he'd hang up on. And that was just the efficiency. So you're learning from a guy who's not only just, I've never prospected at that level. You know, I got into management and stopped selling.
Right.
I missed that. So Jeff brings a level of sales training that it's just unheard of. And you're going to learn a lot. And then management-wise, well, what he's done is he's taken the sales techniques that he's learned and taught himself how to communicate like a master. And that has taken him to a level where he is really, you got $100 million worth of project right now?
Right now, right in this town.
Yeah. And that is just dedication and discipline and sales knowledge and communication skills that you all can learn from this guy and hopefully take on some bigger projects yourself. So lots of opportunities to learn.
And we're going to go through step by step on how to do this. Because, guys, I mean, I love the analogy we use. The rising tide raises all boats.
Yep.
Right? I mean, no one's paying to watch this podcast. We're doing this truly to pass along the education that we have. Because
we don't want to work with agents who don't know what they're doing.
That's a good point, too. We want to raise everybody up because it's our company. It's Beggins Enterprises, but our mantra is it's BE3 and it's Beggins and empower, educate, and encourage. And so every day we wake up, it's about empowering, educating, and encouraging our group. And then we realize we've got big, lofty, kick-ass goals for our company from an expansion standpoint. And as we grow and expand as a company, we want more cool people that are doing deals with us. Whether you work with us or not, doesn't really matter. Want you to at least know us. And as we teach all the time, it's attract and repel. And some of you will like us, want to hang out and follow stuff and come to some events with us. And some of you say, screw you guys, and either way's fine. At least you know what we're doing, and we're always here to help you no matter what.
Yeah, we don't cooperate with agents. We don't compete with agents. We cooperate with them. So either work with us or work with us. Either way, it's fine.
So we're bringing all of that to you. So Puma.
Yeah, so I mean, I joined these guys a little over 2 years ago, and you know, obviously I've known Jeff for a little bit longer, and you know, I think he's the first person I ever met where I'm like, holy shit, this guy might think of more ideas than I do, and so that was pretty cool. So I knew me and him were gonna see eye to eye, and then I met Craig. And Jeff warned me that Craig's a little bit more analytical. But what I quickly realized was this was a place that I needed to be because to surround yourself, I've been on a lot of executive teams, big companies, small companies, and what you fail to see often is at the higher you get on that ladder, the less in the weeds the guys are, the less innovation there is. That they're just so used to doing the things that got them there that they forget to constantly look at new things and be open to looking at new things. And when I got around both these guys, it was clear that was not the case. These guys are taking an industry that historically has done things one way and the same way over and over and over again. And they're saying, listen, we know those things work, but we have to continue to innovate those things and do things a little bit differently and adapt to the society that we're in today. And no one does that better than these two guys sitting right here. So to be on this team, to be with them, and to be able to constantly come to work every day and be able to have an idea today and then know that we're going to be already starting to execute on it tomorrow is super cool. I don't think you'll ever see another real estate or really any organization that moves as quickly as we do on new things and new ideas. So
do we have to wait till tomorrow?
Yeah, a lot of times we don't.
don't.
You know, there's stuff that me and Jeff will be texting at 10:30 at night, and she's like, he might be more on than you are. I'm like, I know, it's amazing. So,
and the funny part is, we'll come up with a new idea, and by the time it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're up again, the domain's been purchased, the website is up, and it's functioning. And he goes, hey, you guys, check this out. We're like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times if stuff takes more than a day after we thought about it, it feels like it's taken way too long to get it done. So we like to move quick, and I think you're going to see that in a lot of the ideas and things that are presented this quarter when we talk about them. And I just hope everyone can keep up.
That's right. And I think we're going to bring some entertainment value along with it because a lot of funny stuff happens, guys, in this industry. And we were talking yesterday. You were at the sales meeting here on the beaches I was doing on Tuesday. Dad was in the audience, and we were talking about the market, the current state of this market right now. And I said, look, you've been doing this for 50 years now. What are you seeing today versus whatever before? And he said, unequivocally, this is the absolute number one, best, strongest, most amazing real estate market in the history of his entire career in
Our father said that?
in the record of the real estate industry.
We finally broke him down.
Yeah, because those of you know him, we love him. He always sees, which is a great trait. He always watches out to see what's coming as a threat. And to say that there's not threats is a blind statement. There are. But right now, everything is aligning at a point where we've never been able to do the things we're doing. And we're coming to you right now from Tampa Bay, and which, guys, is the absolute treasure of all real estate markets, which you've seen all the hedge funds buying. There's hundreds of millions of dollars pouring into this market as we speak right now, just because, I mean, God, look behind us. This is why. This is January, and we're on a tiki boat.
Yeah.
Right, hanging out. So,
but we do have a jacket on, so we're not real happy about that.
Still affordable though too. I mean,
That's
we
the
were
key.
in South Florida this week and talking to those guys, and they're intercoastal with not even as clear water, and their homes are 2-3 times what it is over here. So it matters.
And here's the thing: everything we do, and this is kind of an interesting play because it's frustrating in a lot of ways too.
Yep.
Everything we do is figure out what can we do to help the people that are surrounding us get better and have a better lifestyle. That's really what drives us, because it's been drilled into our heads from Dad. You help enough people get what they want, you never have to worry about anything for yourself.
That's right.
So it's kind of become the mantra to just help, do, bring opportunities. And those of you watching, you're obviously in the real estate industry, most of you, it's all about inventory. And we preach nonstop, go get more inventory. And if it doesn't happen, we just said, you know what, we're just going to go get more inventory. So one of the things we've been starting to do now is bring in more things to the table to have our agents to sell and to promote and go live from and do the videos from and do the content, push the things out if they want to.
Well, it's the number one problem with the real estate market. It's low inventory nationwide. And if they're not going to get it, we need to get it.
Right. And over 28 years, the relationships come.
Yes.
Now, between just here and what we're doing on the new project in Mira Bay, we have $130 million of inventory that you guys have gone out and secured.
And they're not discounted commissions either.
Right. Now, here's the thing. I think there's a lot of agents that are going to watch this and say, well, how in the world do you go and secure $130 million? And I think even as the relationships matter, all of that matters, which you guys have built over years and years and years of doing what you said you're going to do. But I think for me, I always look at it and say, you know what? If you were a single agent trying to go get it and only leverage yourself, it never would have worked. If you went to that builder and said, Craig Beggins is going to go sell this, he would say, I need more than just Craig Beggins. But you guys don't do that. You would never get $100 million in active project business here if it was just you. And they like you, but they're never just going to buy you.
Oh, it's never about that.
You're leveraging.
And we're bringing 400 people with us.
And that's what you're leveraging. Right?
And that's what we sell in our presentation. That's what our agents should be selling too.
Exactly. And I think that's where they miss the boat. I don't care who you're with. And if they're not selling more than you, then there's a problem. Your broker is bigger than you are. So you have to leverage that. These guys are two of the most successful people you're ever going to meet.
We'll say brokerage, not the broker. They put some ego in it.
Correct. Okay.
The brokerage.
Yeah. They got to leverage the brokerage, because at the end of the day, these two are individually more successful than most real estate agents you're going to meet, yet they're still leveraging the entire brokerage, the 400 agents, this past sales, our ability, and that's what's going to lead to $100 million, $130 million in open real estate.
Right on, and it gets even bigger than that, because when I'm talking with anybody, right, whether it's a new agent coming on board, somebody transferred from another company, $50 million project, $1 million, it doesn't matter. It's the agent level. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good? It's the brokerage. What resources do you bring? And it's the brand, right? And so one of the things that we always tout too is, guys, for what's shocking to me is a lot of short-sightedness from a agent perspective.
No doubt.
That it's about me. And I was talking with an agent yesterday. An agent decided they didn't want to be at our company anymore. Great, right? It is what it is. Free country. And but the thought process of it is, I don't get it, because you're gonna Jonathan.
Oh.
All right, so we just had a little hiccup here. We were on the Tiki Hat boat, hit a wave, and the lights flew off into the water, but it's all good. Nobody is dead. We got one guy flapping around on the floor, but it's going to be okay.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
It was just a little
dead
shock.
flashlight.
His heart will start again.
So what we're talking about is how we teach the agents to leverage their brokerage.
Well, I think what we're saying is we do what we teach.
Yep.
So, and that's important. You got to walk the walk and talk the talk, and we do that. And then we teach them to do that, and some of them do and do very well, and some of them don't and don't.
Right.
But I think that's what we do. We just do what we say.
And we leverage in the brand, because it's something nice to say that it's not just the agent, it's not just the brokerage, it is the brand, it's the 90 countries, 120,000 salespeople, it's all this, that, and the other. It doesn't hurt, right? Because honestly, we always say people buy with emotions and they justify with logic. The emotional sale is, do they trust you? And that's it. That's it. That's the end of the day. Do they think that they have your best interest in mind, and do they actually trust you? And then behind that, they look and say, well, I like them and trust them. Are they good? And then they start peaking, and that's when your brokerage matters. That's when your brand matters. That's when past performance matters. And that's when you being honest and saying, if you don't have a ton of past performance, that you need to leverage your brokerage and your brand and what's going on in your market. I mean, hell, if you live in Gazebo, Idaho, and you're brand new and you work for Coldwell Banker, you better be leveraging how many homes Coldwell Banker has sold in that neighborhood in Idaho on your next listing presentation. Because if you didn't, that's stupid, right? It's just helping to build the logic behind what you're going to bring to that table.
If you have the card, play it.
Yeah, I think it also comes down to understanding what type of business do you want to build. I mean, we hired that agent yesterday, and he's a very productive agent, and I knew that she was going to be an awesome fit, because as we're sitting there, she said to me, she said, I have a good friend of mine who was saying that I should go to this other 100% shop and just do it. She goes, but I just thought to myself that if I was only going to work people that I know that are in my sphere and past clients, then I could do that. But that's not the business I want to build. I want to do more than that. I'm going to be talking to people who don't know me, and when I do that, I think the brand matters.
That's a smart person.
Ding, 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 ding. Hired.
Yeah.
That is exactly the right mindset. But I think having the self-awareness is step number one of what business do I want to build, right? Am I trying to just do a couple deals here and there with my mom and my family members, or am I trying to build a real business, right? And if you are, then you need to take a hard look at who is behind you. What is that brand? Who is your brokerage?
What's in your wallet?
Look at all those things.
Well, this agent that we hired yesterday, after chatting with her over the phone, I mean, she's with a good brand right now.
She is.
And she actually says, I like them. Yeah. I don't have anything negative to say. I just feel more comfortable that you guys can help me take it to the next level. And that's for whatever reasons, right? What do we teach the agents on nonstop? It's commonalities, and it's a subconscious trait. And some people are attracted to people, some people are not. And that's going to happen to you building business. I mean, our business is growing our business. We grow our business by bringing agents to come on board to help them grow their business, and then we all win across the board. Yep. So we're completely aligned in the exact same business the agents are in. It's just our listing appointments are agents, right? And they're out there getting listings. It's the same deal, but it's bringing value. So like an agent should be bringing value to their market with no expectations of any return. Right. Look what we're doing. We're bringing value to a bunch of agents with no expectation of any return. Some people like it, some people don't, and that's just fine. But that's an issue that I think it's hard for a lot of people to get through their head. Like why do I do this? Why do I want to say stuff? What am I going to teach them? If I go tell a for sale by owner how to sell their house, what value do I have then? Like, what are they going to do? They don't need
do it themselves, right?
And you hear that a lot.
Oh, a lot. It's that fear. But I would argue, is that fear, is it real, or do you think they're using that as an excuse, right, to not do it? It's easier to sell, because again, I think going back to your point, there's so many things like that where I'm like, okay, do they really think that for sale by owner is going to sell it themselves? Because the statistics say otherwise, right? They say that majority of them don't even put a sign in the yard. So do they really think that if you give them a guide, a 30-page guide like we've created, and you hand that to a for sale by owner, do you really think they're going to go in and do all of those steps to sell that house?
It depends.
Maybe they will, but I think it's a way they justify it to themselves to not even do it.
It happens when they're attached to the outcome. I had this conversation with the agent that I said, look at this thing Mike created, 35-page FSBO guide. I said, check it out. She looked at it and said, I would never use that. Why would I give the FSBO all my secrets to selling houses? I'm like, because the first thing they're going to see is, oh my gosh, I can't do all that. I've got a full-time job. Yeah. I don't want strangers coming. They're going to figure it out. They're going to find out what we actually do and realize they can't do it. Yeah. But that's a mindset shift.
Or
that's abundance or scarcity.
Or they're going to use it and they're going to do it. But the fraction of the people that will actually follow through on that is so slim. And my thought is, if they're really willing to go do all that and they execute on it, then they were going
We
to
should
sell the
hire
house
'em.
without you anyways. Yeah, they should get their real estate license because they were going to probably sell that house without that agent.
It's a
anyways.
question of value, right? It's do they see the value? Is the return greater than the cost? I mean, we're going right now. I'm looking at my house. I got guys hanging off the side of my house fixing up some work on the side. I could do that. I mean, I could figure out how to do that. I can make calls.
could.
I could go do that.
You could run a
I could rent the lift
Yeah.
truck. I could have YouTube this one. I could have called a bunch of contractors I know and I could have done that. The value is not there for me to do it, right? I would much rather pay an expert and a professional that's licensed and insured and has issues and recourse if he screws something up than me trying to figure it out on my own.
Right.
It's the exact same thing. Now maybe, and I've tried it. I've done little patchworks and it sucks, right? and I shouldn't have even tried it, right? But at least I tried it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I just went through this the other day at my house because there were a couple things with our plumbing that needed to be fixed, right? And so it was like 3 things. It was a toilet and we needed a new toilet, and we needed a new disposal and shower head, right? Put in not just a shower head, the whole 3 pieces. So I'm like, oh, I could do that. So go to Lowe's, buy the things, get about 15 minutes into it. One of the bolts is stripped, and I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. So out of frustration, I'm like, you know what? Called Lowe's up. Hey, when can you have a plumber here? And he was there the next day, and he installed it, and it was worth the money to have him do that. But sometimes it takes that frustration of, yeah, why not try it myself, right? Save the $500 and do it myself. Only to realize, wait a minute, I spent more than $500 because I spent a couple hours of my time trying to do it. But sometimes it takes that, and it's the same thing with a for sale by owner or anyone else. Sometimes they just need to try it.
And you're not saving $500; you're saving $30,000, right? In some cases.
In our case, it's
So
a lot more.
let's try it. You're dumb not to try save 30 grand. Put the sign out in the yard.
You'd be stupid to not.
And you don't
put
even
the
need a sign
out.
in the yard anymore. You
Right?
need to log onto Zillow and post it as a for sale by owner or coming soon. And then the whole entire world, anybody who's interested in looking at a house right now will see your property.
Yep.
And that might work. Try it. If that doesn't work, give me a call. And if it does work and you need some guidance along the way, give me a call. I don't need anything from you. I want to help you.
One of the builders we're representing just sold his house for sale by owner. And I was listening to our agent talk to the builder, and he wasn't bragging or anything. His wife wanted to try it. So we started asking him questions. How much earnest money did you get? We didn't get any earnest money.
Yep.
Are you paying any closing costs? I don't know. Send me your contract. Let me at least look at it for you and tell you where you got screwed. Because chances are somebody got you somewhere. But it sold in 3 days.
I probably did, and it might have been a good deal, and it might not have been a good deal. But either way, at least you're looking at it, right? That's the whole point. Just be the person of value. We just came off last week 3 days of Next Level University with 200 and something agents we trained for 3 days nonstop straight. It was an amazing
It was awesome.
3 days, right? And I think the takeaway is just talk to people and let them know that you have their back and you can trust them. That's
Well,
it.
I'm really excited because after that class, we came up with the lane theory. Pick your lane and stay on it. And now we're going to follow up. I'm just excited about this. Next week, we're going to have a 3-series lane training.
Yep.
So you're going to do FSBOs and RealSure.
Yep.
You're going to do social and Sphere.
Yep.
And Otis is going to do Remine and Expires.
Yep.
And the agents that picked one of those lanes are going to tune into a special video Zoom meeting. And we're going to do that every week for the rest of this quarter.
And
What's going to
only
happen
that
by
lane.
the end of that quarter, if the agents stick through, they're going to become masters of those 3 things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they can play that game next quarter. They can learn something new.
Yeah.
But
And
our
the question is going to be
expectation-
is who commits and who sticks with it.
Yep. Well, everybody, I've asked every day for the class that I teach,
Yeah.
who's signing up? They said they're signing up. We got to follow up on that.
Yeah, we'll send the links out later on
Yeah.
today. Now I'm stoked about that one. So that's
gonna be really good.
that's the
I'm
exciting.
stoked because you guys are doing it. I'm not.
We got to find another lane for him.
I got my lane.
He's got daily training.
Yeah,
He's doing
He knows
the
it.
morning huddle every day.
That's right.
So what are you excited about most with this market right now?
Oh, God, there's so many things. I think what I'm most excited about for us in this market is the inventory we're bringing. Because that's going to just, it gives so many opportunities. Because it's hard to get inventory. It just is. But we're actually building it, so that's different.
Because we know what's needed in the marketplace.
Right.
We know what the voids are and we're filling it over there. What I'm stoked about is when you drive around these markets. I mean, I'm over here on the Pinellas County beaches. You're over in Hillsborough County on the waterfront over there. And they're totally different markets.
Totally different.
Completely different. And these markets here, I'm super stoked about because what's happening on the beaches right now has never happened before. It's always been a cool place to have a house on the beaches, but it's now becoming a lifestyle of younger families are moving in. People are realizing a lot of work from homers, a lot of people coming into the area, and they're realizing this is a pretty cool lifestyle to do it. And then you can find a house still on the water over here in the $500,000 range.
Look at that one over there.
Well, that's not not half a million bucks, but
that house, this house.
But that house is what, $2 million?
In Miami.
Not even.
Not even. $1.8 million.
Yeah, so that house in Miami
would be $5 or $6
is
million.
a $5 or $6, $7 million house.
No doubt.
And here it's under 2, right?
Yep.
And that's a huge ass house.
And here's the fun part.
I'd rather live here.
You
than
can go further down this canal and look at this one we're about to go around. Same lot, same seawall. I buy that house if that was for sale. You'd be able to take that property down for $700,000, $750 maybe, for the lot. Rip it out, throw it away, and then go build something like that. Well, now you have an amazing home for under $2 million, right? Brand new house. Now you go on the beach, it's a little different because you're talking about, like right there, that little one. Cool house, but they're functionally obsolete. The buyers that are coming to this market are totally different than they used to be, and a lot of international buyers because of our international direct flights that have been coming down here for the last 2 years, and now it takes 8 hours to get here from Europe without changing planes anywhere. So not going into a total pitch about the market, but what I'm excited about is one thing: consumer confidence. Because for somebody to buy that for $750,
knock it down,
to hire an engineer, an architect,
and have a new home
seawall guy, design the pool 2 years from now, start the mortgage payments on a $2 million home, is a big bet that the economy is going to be okay, that your job's still going to be there, that your family is going to be stabilized, that everything's going to be okay, your stock market's going to be okay, your 401ks, you're going to be healthy. All those questions go into your mind before you bite off something at that level, because it's a 2 year from now commitment that people have to make now, and it's all about consumer confidence. So from an agent perspective, we've never seen consumer confidence as high as we have right now, with mortgage rates as low as they are right now, with supply and demand curve the way that they are right now. It's never been more perfect, right? So it's for why we're kind of with a megaphone shouting out the value and our help for Empower, Educate, and Encourage is because we know what it's like in the down markets.
Yeah, make hay while the sun shines.
Right, and it is shining big time right now. So we want to make sure that if there is any spark that needs to be just reignited or just fueled that flame big time, let us help you do that, right? Let this be a help. Reach out to any of us directly, however you want to. We help people all the time, and we want to make sure that you get all of the crap out of your way, declutter your mind, recontextualize your life, and get clear about how to make things happen right now.
Yep. Well, especially when it's not just homes on the water. What you're seeing right now is growth amongst all segments of real estate, right? Even in normal neighborhoods, normal people real estate is as good as it's ever been, right? And so that when you start seeing it across all segments,
define regular people real estate.
You're people that are moving around because of death, divorce, jobs, right? Your $250,000 to $500,000 house segment is booming, right?
Yes.
And so it's not just the beach house, right? A lot of times when you see the luxury real estate is the market that's booming, there's usually an excess in the marketplace that then has a correction, and then but you're not seeing that. You're seeing, yes, this is booming on the water and everything else, but it's also booming in normal neighborhoods.
Right. Even more.
We just had a record high sale in my neighborhood, and I'm sitting there going, because that raises my value. Well, so I love seeing that across all of it.
Another thing I'm excited about is these low interest rates. And I talk about my daughter a lot. She's in real estate with us in our Tampa office. She's 26 years old and she bought her first house. Right? Mm-hmm. $250,000 house, nice neighborhood. Her payments are $1,100 a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey, you're going to own that for the rest of your life. You're not going to live there the rest of your life, but you're going to own it. Never sell that house. That helps with rent right now for $1,500 or $1,600, and she's got an $1,100 payment.
Right.
Make money on it.
People should be buying real estate right now to never sell it.
Yeah.
But the 3.5% fixed mortgage interest rate for 30 years?
Right.
That's insane.
Yep. But that's a message that a lot of people don't really understand what an anomaly that is.
I know.
In the real market. They think it just kind of is that way.
My first house mortgage was 10.25%. And it was a construction loan.
But how many agents do you think are walking into someone who's calling them for a listing appointment right now and saying, do you really need to sell this house?
Because you shouldn't.
because you shouldn't.
You should.
Right? But how many agents do you think have the audacity to walk in and actually say that to somebody?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many, but it could be the difference maker, right? If someone walked in, how much trust does that build? If someone walked into my house right now, because we're in the same boat, right? I purchased this house and it has literally almost doubled in value in the last 5 years, right? Easily could rent it and make money if I needed to. I should never sell that house.
Correct.
Right? But if I went to sell it and someone,
Unless you have a better use for that money.
absolutely, right? But if someone walked in and actually made me think about that and said, "Hey, Mike, don't sell this house. Do you need to sell this house? What are you doing with the money?
How much equity do you
Right?
have?
How much equity is there? What's your plan? Where are you going? Why are you doing
cash.
it? Right?
I just talked to an agent about this the other day.
Those
He said, I'm gonna sell my house.
questions
I said, don't do that.
would
Just get home equity.
immediately build trust, right? But
Yep.
they're not asked. Most people are walking in like, "Great, here's the listing agreement. Sign here."
This is our
'Cause
commission.
We're so tied to the outcome.
Right.
So
But that makes a big difference. Now, a smart agent would be reaching out to you right now and saying, "Hey, I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but I've noticed how long have you owned your home now?"
5 years.
Okay, so a smart agent in your neighborhood should have you on a target list of somebody that's got reasonable equity
Yep.
that is able to move.
And they certainly should. And there's a couple agents I'm actually going to be recruiting because I like their hustle. Like I got one yesterday, the person who just had that record sale in our neighborhood got a direct piece of mail from them that said just sold, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm not the biggest proponent of direct mail. Anyone who watches our content knows that from that perspective, because 99% of the time that thing's getting thrown in the trash. I only care because I like to see who's doing it because I can recruit that agent
Yep.
potentially. But what would have been even better is if I got a customized piece of mail in my inbox from him that said, "Hey, I just sold this this house right up the street from you. Here's what I'm showing on your house. Mr. Puma, would you be interested in sitting down and talking?" Now I'm interested, right?
Because you're already going, "Yes, look at the equity I have." It started the thought.
Exactly, and it just started the thought, and then it feels like it's to me. When I see my name and info about my house on that piece of paper, I'm like, wait a minute, and now I already know, man, this guy's done his research. He knows he just sold that house. Sure, he could probably sell it.
Yeah.
It's a completely different world.
It's instant credibility.
Well,
Here's another challenge with that. You know who's doing that really, really well?
Who's that?
Zillow.
Yep, Zillow does too.
I get an email every couple of weeks from Zillow saying, "Hey, Craig, here's the market change on your house.
Yep.
Your house has gone up this much, gone up, down this much. Totally customized, direct to me, consistently done all the time with market comps in it."
That's right.
So that's
Because-
my point to our agents is if you're not doing this shit, understand other people are doing it to your
Absolutely
customers.
they are. Listen, we let Zillow happen. The
Yeah,
real estate industry
100%.
let Zillow happen, right? And now agents, I love when agents complain about Zillow and Realtor and all these. Like, you guys let it happen. All they're doing is looking at the opportunity and saying, "Okay, we'll go where the attention is and we'll do it at scale,"
Yep.
right? And it never should have happened because Zillow should have been innovated by a brokerage. Zillow should have been innovated by agents,
Right.
and it wasn't. And so someone took advantage. And the same thing is going to continue to happen the more we sit on our hands. For the last year, I've been preaching, especially now that we have Remind, do customized mailers. Sit down, look at your high sell scores. You only have about 20 in your neighborhood, 30, maybe tops. You can knock those out in a couple hours. You could have customized piece of mail to every single one of them. You could do it,
But
they won't.
Well, because there's too many things to do. But if somebody were to niche down and decided that your neighborhood was their targeted farm, right? Their job is to understand the Mike and Courtney Puma story, right?
Yeah.
And knock on your door. How many agents do you see knocking on your door once a month?
Never.
Right? So, but the guy who won the postcard, sent the postcard, wins.
Yep.
Because if somebody were to knock on his door, he would have trumped the postcard.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. And for you, whoever do you find in your scroll that
Yep.
says, "Hey, I'm in Meadow Point," right?
Yep.
The community, nobody's doing that on a consistent basis for you too. So you're technically wide open to be stolen.
Wide open.
So somebody smart would be going to, if they wanted to niche down, and ultimately get to Courtney
Yeah.
and say, "Courtney, what about this house would you prefer to be a little bit different?" Right? What would she say to that? What if she were to have a perfect, if the house you were in right now had some X was nicer or bigger or better, what would it be?
I think she would like a little bit of even a bigger yard for sure.
Right?
And fully redone bathrooms and all that kind of stuff.
And kitchens.
Kitchen's been redone, so she loves the kitchen.
Right.
But the bathrooms haven't.
Backyard,
And so
pool.
Backyard, pool. She would love a resort-style pool more so than just a normal pool, which would require more space.
So a smart person who could have reached you
Yep.
and had this conversation could have just planted a seed and could have now known the equity that you have in your home,
Yep.
what the interest rates are, leverage their Grow Financial lender to come up with what it would actually take if you were to buy a house. And you like your neighborhood, you want to stay in
Yep.
the same school district. So what's the nicer home in your neighborhood that's totally within your payments, within your reach, completely able to happen with a resort pool? Or, hey, by the way, this lot's a lot bigger, a huge yard. Here's my buddy who owns this pool company, and I think you guys might want to take a beat because I could probably roll this pool construction contract into your loan and to have your payments be about where they are and let you put this equity down. You guys interested in looking on Saturday?
Yeah, because when you get home, all of a sudden Courtney's gonna be pissed because your bathrooms are old and your yard's too small.
Once that thought's in there,
Right.
I've never hated my house more after hanging out with Jeff. And he's like, "You really should live on the beach. You don't have this, you don't have that." And then I like my house. I go, I hate my house. I don't want to live here anymore.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It's planting seeds,
No,
but
it
that's a
is.
long-term business if somebody had you as their target.
Right.
But that's how niche down it can actually get. So what we try to do is help pick a lane because that is a good idea and everybody watching could do that and it will work for you, but
Yep.
so does everything else. And when you try to do a little
Right.
bit of everything, you suck at
Yeah.
all of it.
Yep.
So that's kind of our hope and our goal for this quarter is to
This is
help
the stuff we talk about.
everybody get clear, pick a lane, and get to work. And because you're not going to do the best analogy, we were talking yesterday on this one, something I was talking to the sales meeting on Tuesday, was just using a sports analogy for basketball, right? And I had two agents sitting there and I said, all right, here's a basketball. And for you, here's a basketball. And next Tuesday morning, I'm going to see who shoots better free throw. Have a nice week, right? And then one of them, they all know they need to practice to be good at a free throw, right? One of them will probably do it kind of, and the other one probably won't. So they'll each take a couple shots today and maybe 10 or 12 or 15, maybe 18, right? And then maybe tomorrow, maybe not. But what if one of them sat there and banged in a couple hundred of them a day, right? Every day for a couple hours a day, just kind of put those shots up there and took those shots. A week from today, and if we were to have a free throw contest, who's going to win?
The one who practiced.
The one who practiced that one, right? So one of the things I want to make sure we drill down is every shot is a contact and a connection.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be just responding to the person who likes the picture of your cute dog, right? And start an engagement and saying, what's up, Shirley? How's life? Right? And at least, hey, I just saw you guys went to Disney World. How did you like it? Right? That could be a messenger. That could be a
Absolutely.
text. That could be a DM. That could be Instagram. That could be something. But at least that's a shot. Right? So if you think about how many shots did you take yesterday, that could be a knock on this door and to say, hey, your house is really cute. Did you know your lot's worth $550,000 right now with nothing on the market? You guys interested? That's a shot too.
Yeah.
Right? A conversation of just that's the conversation over and over and over. So if you really go internal and think about how many shots did you take yesterday and how many are you doing today and how many are you planning to do tomorrow? Because if you fast forward 30 to 45 days from now, you're going to get a check that pays you in direct proportion to the number of shots you took today. Right? And
Yep.
so, and then the check you got today or didn't get today is a direct result of you not taking shots 30 or 45 days ago. So now we have 10 weeks left in this quarter, and we're going full throttle hardcore press on people who are in our tribe and saying, I don't care about Q2. We have 10 weeks and we're going to put up at least an additional 4 extra transaction of what you're normally doing. And that's another 20 grand in the bank. So we're going to throw an extra 20 grand in everybody's bank, minimum, right? Extra on that one. So that's kind of our zero laser focus on what we're doing with the salespeople. But that's what I want you guys to zoom in, reach out. And I think we were talking earlier, content, open to other ideas too. We've got a lot of cool things on our whiteboard for this quarter. But any cool ideas you guys have, reach out, do it. We're going to have some cool guests on along the quarter too, going through. So what are your parting words, thoughts for this, your excitement for this quarter?
Excitement. Really, it's just making sure that we're making hay while the sun shines. The lack of inventory, the new home inventory, it's just learning and keep learning and growing and doing. And that's pretty much just it. It's just don't let this market pass you by.
Yeah. Puma?
Regret is scary, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that look back, 2, 3, 4 years from now or whenever we see a little bit of a dip in the market or a correction at some point. It's going to happen, right? We don't know when it'll happen. And when it does, there's going to be everyone's going to look back at this time and say, man, I wish I would have, right? In the same way that we look back and say, I wish I would have invested in Facebook back when it was first grade.
Yeah.
Like that regret is scary. And so I think now is the time to get to work, listen to what we have to say, and do what we do. Right? There's a reason that we shoot the content the way that we shoot it. There's a reason we put stuff out there. There's a reason we're doing all of it. So don't just listen to us. Watch what we're doing and start to put it to action in your business.
And we'll share.
And reach out if you have any questions about it too. My biggest excitement is helping people break through the fact that they need way more money than they think they do. Because the ultimate goal is to whatever money you have, you need a month right now to live, whether it's $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $4,000 a month, whatever it is to cost you to live. The ultimate goal is to have other investments that pay you that much money a month, so you're not tied to the outcome of your work, right?
Yep.
So that's one of the things I'm passionate about doing, is making sure everybody, myself included, and we're working towards that too, guys. We're figuring out what kind of lifestyle do we want? What does that lifestyle truly cost? How much money needs to flow in effortlessly, right? I use that word loosely because there's effort behind everything, but what will flow in on a monthly basis consistently based on the actions we do today. Right, so if you need a why, there's your why. Let's figure out the lifestyle you want to live. What does that cost? And let's get income to cover that and then some.
Yeah.
So that's my
how you
passion.
take the pressure off.
Absolutely.
Taking the pressure. So anyway, welcome to our first Beggins Brothers podcast, and I'm excited
I am
to do
too.
it. And if you have not yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and just keep getting notifications of what we're pushing out here every day. And if you're not on our Facebook, like us on Facebook, and are following our Instagram channel, our YouTube channel, make sure you're following it. We're pushing out on TikTok now too.
Yep.
Just make sure you've got everything, that you're up to date, guys. We're going to help you. And thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.